Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon Buddies. What do we got, buddy?
Well, buddy, we got something a little different. But different. This is not a bourbon. This is an Irish whiskey. And this is Teeling whiskey, small batch.
So we were out here, and Neil just happened to pull this out of his little bag of tricks that he carries around with him
All the time.
which is questionable. But he said this is something we got to try. So instead of just trying it, we're going to share it with you guys instead of trying it off camera. Anything to note about this? I mean, it's...
Absolutely. It's from Dublin, and what's kind of cool about this whiskey, which I really appreciate, non-chill filtered.
Okay.
Okay.
I know you're kind of into that.
No coloring added, which a lot of Scotch and Irish whiskey, you can add coloring.
Right, which is all kind of perception because people think if it's darker...
Yeah.
And that's one thing when I was in Ireland that they talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Do not look at color as a distinction of whether it's good whiskey or not.
Especially Irish and Scotch whiskey, right? And this, I don't know if you can see it, but the color, it's not dark.
Very
right?
light.
It's very light color, almost like a hayish.
Yeah, it almost has like a
Kind of
straw gold.
color.
Oh, you know, honestly, buddy, from our wine background, it reminds you of the color of a Chardonnay.
It definitely does, like an oak Chardonnay, right?
One thing that I did learn,
Mm-hmm.
being in Ireland, is that the reason that a lot of their, and Scotch as well, is the reason that it's aged so long is they don't have the fluctuation in temperature like we do here.
Absolutely.
Like in Kentucky and things like that. So we don't get the hot summers, and those hot summers allow the oak in the barrels to open up and suck it in, but basically that spirit gets absorbed into the oak a lot more and then pushed back out in those cool winters.
It moves.
Where it's a lot cooler on average in, say, Ireland, Scotland. So that's why you'll see 12, 15-year, 18-year scotches more commonly than you will bourbons, because it literally just takes longer to age.
It does, and they're using used though.
But a lot of barrels that are made in Kentucky on the rivets have a K and a Y.
Right.
So you will see that, and I saw that at Jameson. I saw those old Kentucky bourbon barrels, and apparently they absolutely love
They love
our
those,
old
man.
Kentucky bourbon barrels.
Right now, you're seeing a lot of Irish and Scotch whiskey just aged in ex-bourbon barrels. You know, the
they're
whole
kind of-
sherry thing is picking up as well. But
but that's kind
plentiful.
of more of a finish thing too. Like not all of it is aged in that. And
Right. A lot of times
whole...
they're finishing them sherry, which goes to what this is. This is actually finished in rum casks.
not typical, not completely unheard of, but not
Not
common. Let's get into this. Just the nose screams that barley, that Irish whiskey, delicate floral honey thing that goes on. I actually really appreciate, I mean, I love the bourbons. That was my first thing that got me kind of into whiskey. But I try to always have an appreciation and respect for everything. And sometimes it's nice just to have something different.
This is like a very buttery, biscuity kind of thing going on as well. A typical Irish kind of.
Absolutely.
You know, the rum casks are really shining.
Yeah, it just adds that element of sweet. It's almost like a honey, like an extra honey layer that's in there.
Kind of like a brown sugar, not your you're not your bourbonish brown sugar. It's very different.
It's like a light
with
brown
the rum.
sugar.
Yeah. Yep.
And like if you were baking and you have your dark brown and your light brown, it's definitely more towards that light brown. The Irish whiskeys always have I don't want to say always, but very typically have that kind of delicate palate and even mouthfeel. They're very delicate, like a lot of floral, a lot of hints of a lot of things. Nothing really punching you hard in the face, but just a lot of interesting things going on.
You can tell it's Irish with a little bit of something going on.
All right. Let's do it, buddy, because
Let's
I
dive
almost
in.
did. There's that honey, and there's that thing that just makes Irish whiskey such a thing of beauty. That's really just enjoyable. You got a lot of sweet, you got soft, there's like some floral notes.
This is delicious, and I really appreciate the proof point that this sits at. The alcohol percentage, it's sitting at 46% alcohol.
That's pretty solid.
Especially with an Irish and Scotch. You know, where we're seeing a lot of 40% alcohol. 46 just, I think, does this wonders. And you can see the legs on this. I mean, it's got serious
There's just like a
thing going.
And this isn't to take anything away from bourbon, because obviously we're dealing with two completely different things. But there's like, I don't want to use the word refinement. I want to use the right word to do it justice.
I think refinement really is. It's very refined and polished. I think from the barley. I mean, obviously you can get barley that's real young, and when you're pushing out young barley product, you know, you're going to get some harshness just like you would in a bourbon with the, you know, young corn notes. This isn't 100% barley. They're small batch. They're using grain whiskey in here. Us being, you know, predominantly bourbon drinkers,
right?
This kind of hits a soft spot for us.
Light but flavorful, delicate but bold. It's just a different animal. It's just great for, like, I don't want to say a calibration, but like a reset, or just to change it up so that when you go back to bourbon, you're not sort of burnt out. And then you might notice something different out of your bourbon. I will dabble off here in Irish whiskey, Scotch for a little while, but I always come back to, like, man, I want a good bourbon. America. There is something that we have to honor and respect about the Irish whiskey and the Scotch whiskey, because I think if you don't, you're selling yourself short.
Especially without Irish whiskey, there would be no bourbon. The Irish coming over here and immigrating over here, they were a big part of, you know, if you look at Henry McKenna, right? That whole story. That's all Irish whiskey.
Fitzgerald. Old Fitzgerald. They created a new thing.
Yeah.
But they brought their skill set from knowing what they were doing with this.
And to be honest, I really dig this Teeling small batch that's finished in rum cask. It gives you something a little bit different in an Irish whiskey. I love my Redbreast 12, and I love my green spot, yellow spot, all that stuff. This has got a different spin on it. It's just delicious.
There are some amazing things coming out of Ireland and Scotland. I mean, I've had some really good things. So please don't dismiss it.
Grab this.
Dabble in it, at least for your own palate development, I would say. You know, we're bourbon drinkers to the core. I've even dabbled in cognacs and everything, basically trying to expand the palate, you know, and there's a little bit of that whole, like, I don't want to let go of what I like. You're not.
You just got to try it all.
You got to just try it.
Yeah.
And
you understand then when you take a bourbon and then you finish it in, let's say, a Cabernet wine cask, or if you finish it in a rum cask, or if you finish it in, you know, a sherry cask. Now you understand, since you've went to the other realm, you understand where are all those notes coming from.
I appreciate you bringing this out tonight, buddy.
No problem, buddy. I'm glad you can enjoy it with me.
I appreciate that as well. We appreciate you guys and gals tuning in, checking us out. Teeling,
man.
Rum Cask finish. Give it a shot. Let us know what you think. If you've had it or never tried it, or have something from an Irish or Scottish or something that has maybe lit a flame for you, or maybe even helped you understand a bourbon better, please leave it in the comments. Let us know, because we're willing to try anything we can track down to make us better, more well-rounded, and enjoy our bourbon even more. So from the Bourbon Buddies, we thank you very much for tuning in, and have a good night. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.